Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're going to do 3 country farmhouse rustic signs using items from the Dollar Tree. Stay tuned. So for this first sign, I'm calling it Rustic Inspirational sign. You will need a chalkboard from the Dollar Tree, some Jenga blocks, some white paint, some stain of your choice. I used cherry because I wanted it to have a deep, rich, dark feel, and some stickers from the Dollar Tree. First, you are going to take your blocks. These are not the Dollar Tree Jenga blocks. These are actually from Dollar General. I think the box is like $5, but they're thicker, they're bigger, and they're thicker. The Dollar Tree blocks would work too. They're just a little smaller than these. So I counted out 10, I would need 10 Jenga blocks. So I'm hot gluing them together in 2 groups of 3 and 2 groups of 2, making sure to only add like a little dab of hot glue. You don't want it coming out the bottom because then it's going to stick to the platform, whatever you're gluing on. And I know that by experience. So you're going to want to glue 3 of these together. That'll be your top. And then take 2 of them, glue them together. That will be your sides. Once you have those glued together, then you can start assembling your frame by taking the 2 groups of 3 and then take the 2 groups of 2 and hot glue those to the inside, not the outside of the frame. And that should give you almost a perfect fit for the chalkboard. There is a little gap, I'll show you in the next part of this. You're just going to try to position it where the gap is on either side. It's very small, but I didn't mind it because I didn't really want to try to hacksaw these Jenga blocks again. I did that in my last video and it was not fun. So I came in with just a little bit of Gorilla Glue and tried to fill in these gaps just to soften it so you weren't seeing the separated Jenga blocks. I wanted more of a cohesive look. This kind of worked, not so much, but I ended up sanding it down. You could still see the separation. It wasn't as bad. So I flipped it over and just reinforced it with some craft sticks because I didn't want this to come apart. So I hot glued the back and added some craft sticks, and then I came back with some sandpaper. Like I said, I was trying to not have as big a gaps as you do when you use these Jenga blocks, and it was fine. I liked the finished product. So I came in with some cherry stain, and I ended up giving this 2 coats. If you have gloves, now's the time to wear them because removing stain from your hands isn't fun. It's possible. It's just not fun. And I stained the whole frame, the inside, the outside. I even stained the back. I don't know why. I just did. You probably don't have to stain the back, but for some reason I was having fun and I just stained the whole thing. I love this stain. I've used it before in projects around my home. I love cherry. I love cherry wood. So now you're going to set that aside to dry and you're going to start putting your saying on your chalkboard. And I'm just using Dollar Tree stickers, letter stickers, and using a ruler trying to get these as straight as possible. Some of my words weren't exactly straight, but we're going to just say that adds character to this piece. Because why say you messed up? Just, it gives it character, right? Okay, my piece has a lot of character. Because I didn't notice as I was doing this right now, but my V is the most crooked V you'll ever see in any DIY, and I'm owning it. And that's the character of this piece. So just position your letters. Try to do the same gap. I really was eyeballing this. I wasn't being too specific here. I was using the ruler to try to keep my letters straight, not so much measuring the distance in between the words. So eyeball it, or if you really are OCD like I usually am but wasn't with this, measure in between your words and try to put your V a little straighter than I got mine. I really didn't notice it at this part until I painted and took it off. Then I'm like, okay, but that's all right. This is time consuming. It's time consuming to get these letters straight, and it will take a few minutes to do this. So just be patient. During this time in our lives, anything that can take up some time and give us something to do is well worth it. So we're not thinking about other things going on in the world, right? So, okay, enough jibber jabber. Take your white paint and start painting over your chalkboard. Be careful. I'm usually very heavy-handed in painting, and this time I actually was careful. You just don't want your letters to move. So you can start off by just gently putting the paint over the letters, and then once you have a coat, they really aren't going to go anywhere after that. And then you can come back in with your second coat and paint normal. You won't have to be as careful. You just want this to have a nice solid coat of white. I ended up giving it 2 coats. I also painted around the edges of the chalkboard. Why now, looking back, I don't really know why I did that, because I came back in and distressed it anyway. So if you don't want to paint the edges, you don't have to. I just did because I went crazy with the paint, I guess. So once you have this, you're going to want to set this aside to dry. You really want it to be dry before you start removing. I used my little, what's that called? The Silhouette Cameo, and I'm going blank, and I'm doing this in every video lately. What is that? My weeding tool. That's what it is. But if you don't have one of these, you could probably do this with a toothpick. You just need something with a straight edge on it. And then just start removing your stickers. Like you can see in the E, when I removed the sticker, it did bleed through a little bit. And you can just take if you have a weeding tool, great. Or if you're using a toothpick, great. Just use that and scrape a little bit of that white paint. It actually comes off pretty simple. Or leave it and call that more character on this piece. Whatever you want to do. So I ended up choosing smile, love, laugh, learn, embrace, and what is that bottom word? Share. Okay. While I'm doing my voiceover, my little box is popping up over this and I couldn't read it. All right, get back to the side. I took some sandpaper and distressed it. I went around the edges, I went in between, I went a little bit, just gently light sanded over the whole sign. I love distressing. You can skip this if you don't want it distressed, that's fine. So take your chalkboard, flip it over, position it so the gaps, like I said, they're real minimal, but position it so you have a gap on either side. And then you can just hot glue your chalkboard down to the Jenga blocks. This is such a cute sign. It's so simple. I love the block lettering on it. I don't normally do this, but I dated this. Just the trying times we're living in, I just wanted to remember when I did this. So here it is. Like I said, it's rustic, it's country, very simple, very cute. And I think this sign turned out so adorable. So we are gonna head on over to project number 2. So for project number 2, we are going to recreate that fresh baked pie served daily sign. I absolutely love this sign. And when I was on a trip to the Dollar Tree many moons ago, I picked up this Dollar Tree sign that I thought would be perfect to recreate that pie sign. So using that sign, some white, black, and my copper penny paint, and a printable that I printed off of my Silhouette Cameo, we're going to recreate this sign. That sign from the Dollar Tree was perfect for this because it's deep and it doesn't look like your standard picture frame. So first thing we have to do is remove the saying that's already on the sign. I used nail polish remover and it came off so easy. As you can see, I just poured it on and used a towel and it wiped off, and you could barely see the hint of what was on it. But I knew I would be putting my decal on it anyways, so it was fine. So now I'm just doing that layered paint effect that I do on a lot of my projects. I'm coming in with the black and kind of outlining it. The sign that you can buy in the store has kind of a black outline around it, so I was kind of trying to recreate that with the black. And then I also come back in with white and the copper penny paint. I wanted it to have a little rusted look to it. That's why I used a little bit of the copper penny, and I just layer it with the white and the black. I'm going around the outside edges, and I also highlight the corners in the black too. And then I just start layering until I have the look that I was trying to achieve. I was a little heavy-handed with that copper penny, so I did come back in and just took a little bit off. This is a plastic frame, so it takes a little bit more paint to try to get it to look that country, like wooden effect that I was trying to achieve. I also did this on the sides because if I were to hang this on the wall, you would be able to see it. And I just wanted the whole frame to have one cohesive look. So using the paint that was already on my makeup sponge, I just start smearing it on the sides just to try to mimic wood, to try to give it a more rustic country, I guess, feel to it. And like I said, just keep adding until you get the look that you want. It really isn't hard to paint on this plastic. I noticed it wasn't coming off, which is a bonus because that's what I always worry about, painting over plastic. And then I just come back in again because I had put white on it. I come back in and highlight certain areas, and I also redo a little bit of the black because when I'm adding the white paint, of course, you know, you're covering up what you already have on there. I have always wanted this sign. I just wasn't willing to pay, I think it's like $24.99 if you can find it. It was a hot commodity, and whenever I went to look for it, it was always sold out. So for around, if you count, say $1 for paint and vinyl and $1 for this frame, this is like the best bang for your buck. I mean, $2 for this sign, unbelievable. So using my Cameo, I had purchased this off of the store and printed it out and just attached it to the glass. It's not exactly like the fresh baked pie served daily, but it's super cute and I think it's really, really close. You can have this stand freestanding, or you can put it on your wall, or just put it anywhere in your kitchen. I mean, I love this sign, and it's so cute and so farmhouse and so easy to make. So for my third and final project, I'm calling this the Pretty Little Llama Sign because this is the most adorable little llama I've ever seen ever. It is so close to something you would find at Hobby Lobby, and I couldn't believe it when I purchased it a while back at Dollar Tree. I just had been wondering what I can do with it, and then it came to me. Look how adorable that little llama is. So stinking cute. So just with some wood I had around the house, we always have like a stockpile of wood under our deck that we save while we're doing remodeling, different projects in the house. So I just went and grabbed some wood and I cut it to be a little bit longer than the canvas from Dollar Tree. I sanded the edges so that there wouldn't be any splinters. And I actually used my husband's saw to cut this, and that was fun. I should have videotaped that part. So once you have those, I just picked the part of the wood I wanted to show in the front. As you can see, there's like a lighter part on the wood, and I wanted that to be in the back. So I took the canvas. Isn't that llama cute? Oh my goodness. I'm just going to keep saying it because that is the cutest thing I think Dollar Tree has right now. But I added some hot glue to the top of the canvas and to the bottom just to hold it in place for the next step of this. I then just hot glued it to the two pieces of wood and wanted it I knew this wasn't going to hold it, but I wanted it to try to stay put while I tried to nail. My son came in and tried to help me, but nails were not working. It kept moving on me. We couldn't get the canvas has a wood frame, so I knew I could put something in that wood and attach it to the wood from around my house, but nails weren't working. So I decided to secure this a little bit better using craft sticks and some hot glue. And then I had some wood screws, and that worked so much better. So I took the wood screws and just screwed them, one at the bottom and one at the top, going through the existing wood frame of the canvas into the wood that I am using for the stand. And that was perfect. After I was done screwing this together, it wasn't going anywhere, and I was so happy. How cute is that? Simple, easy. I didn't even add a bow to this because this is just too adorable. The llama is cute on its own. I didn't think it needed anything else. So I thought this was like something that you would find at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and I could not believe that I found this at Dollar Tree. So there it is, my 3 farmhouse signs. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it. If you did, consider subscribing to my channel. Hit that thumbs up button so I know I'm doing it right. And as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a blessed and wonderful day, y'all. I'll see you again soon. Bye.